Okay, it's the last weekend in June. We're going to take a quick look at the raspberries. You can see that they're growing very well, and there's lots of fruit. Now, you can probably see even from here, lots of red fruit. I don't know exactly how much difference you can see from the big picture, but we had to do some surgery here. If you remember last week, there was the wilty ones. I looked at that, and that is what I thought it was. It was some, it's a pest. It's called a raspberry horntail. And basically it's a bug that lays its eggs on the skin of the plant, and then there's a worm that forms and burrows its way down. So I only had with all these raspberry plants, there was only a couple, maybe half a dozen that were wilted. But when I went to go start examining them, I wanted to check the healthy ones to see what they look like on the inside so I could compare. And I found that even though most of them didn't show any wilting signs, almost 90% of them were infected. So basically I cut them back. You can see kind of in the middle there's a small hole, and that's where the bug was. So basically I spent a couple hours going through here and topping off every single cane. Like I said, almost every single one of them, except for maybe 10 or so. Almost all of them had a bug. And basically, even if they look perfectly healthy in those signs. So basically, the new canes are chopped back a bunch, but hopefully they will survive, because I went in and found the worm and removed the worms from each one of them, the tops. So they'll look a little bit shorter. But the current canes are just fine. There's nothing with them. They're producing fruit. We're enjoying a delicious crop from that. We are having some issues with the fruit. Some stuff going on where, like right here, it's all dried up on there. And some, you can see over here, it's dried up, crusty. And there's also another issue we're having where there's like white crunchy spots type thing. Like this, where the fruit's good and then it's crunchy and white and not done. So I don't know exactly what's going on there, but that's kind of what's going on with our harvest. We are getting a good harvest, but there's been some issues, as there almost always is. So you can see there's like not perfect. Something's weird is happening, and we don't know exactly what. But anyway, so it's been a trying time for the raspberries the past couple weeks, but we're getting through it. And we'll see. Here you can see it as well in the sunshine, the little dark spot in the middle. That's where the wormhole was. So every single one of these new plants had to pull the top off and check for a worm. So it was a very long and arduous process. So excuse me, hopefully we got them all, and the canes will survive, because this would really impact next year's harvest. So we'll just have to hope for the best, keep checking on it, and then try and figure out what is going on with our current harvest as well. But this is a raspberry patch for this last week in June, and we've got some issues, but we're working through them and still getting some berries. So that's all for now.